All right, so the NBA playoffs are underway. Round one, game ones all took place pretty much in this weekend. Yeah, I won't talk about the Warriors in this video because I already made a separate video for them, so it'd be redundant. But I'm going to talk about all of the other matchups, all other of the 7 matchups we had. We had some really exciting games. Some games were close, some games weren't. But at the end of the day, it's the NBA playoffs, game ones. They're all done now. So the first one I'll talk about is the Jazz and the Mavericks. This was a pretty exciting game. I mean, for the Mavs, they didn't have Luka Doncic, so I wasn't really expecting them to win, but it was close, 99-93 Jazz win. For the Jazz, really good game from Bojan Bogdanovic with 26 points. Donovan Mitchell had 32. So that kind of led them to victory. Those were their 2 main scorers. But yeah, for the Mavs, I mean, they had to be led by Jalen Brunson. He had 24 points. Spencer Dinwiddie, but Dinwiddie had 22. But no Luka. One of the best players in the NBA, let alone the Mavs. It's going to be tough. So yeah, the Mavs lose one at home, and Utah takes a 1-0 series lead, and that's that. Next, we have the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies. We have an upset. So this is the 2 seed playing this, the team that got in with the play-in round. And the Wolves win on the road, 130-117. I'm happy about this as a Warriors fan personally. Crazy game from Anthony Edwards. I mean, this is his playoff debut. It's his, second year in the NBA, and he's tearing up the league in the, against a good team as well, against the Grizzlies. 130-117, like I said. 36 for Anthony Edwards, 29 for Karl Anthony Towns, who didn't really show up much in the play-in game, so he needed to show up. Malik Beasley had 23 for Minnesota. D'Angelo Russell had 10. Patrick Beverley had 10. I mean, the Wolves are gelling really well. I got to give it to them. They're looking good. For the Grizzlies, they had an exceptional game from John Morant, who had 32 points, 24 from Dylan Brooks, but they just couldn't get the win. Really good fourth quarter from Minnesota, outscored them by 8, and that ultimately led them to victory. So that's that. Next game, we have the Hawks and the Heat. The Heat defeat the Hawks 115-91. Of course, the Hawks were the play-in team. The Heat had a really good regular season, and pretty much a blowout all the way through. The Hawks had a really bad first half, and the Heat outscored them by 13 in the second quarter. Just goes to show. For the Heat, they had a really good game from Jimmy Butler and Duncan Robinson, 21 and 27 respectively. 16 for PJ Tucker for the Heat. For the Hawks, pretty bad game for anyone. Trae Young, their best player, had 8 points only. Their leading scorer was Danilo Gallinari. He had 17 points. That's pretty much it, though. No one else really broke the 15 mark at all, and the Heat got a nice win in their game 1. Raptors and Sixers. The Raptors get a 131-111 20-point victory over the Raptors. The Raptors lose to the Sixers. Really, the story of this was Tyrese Maxey. Maxey had 38 points. And he's been going off this season. 26 for Tobias Harris. Embiid had 19, but Embiid had 15 rebounds. For the Raptors, it was a blowout. They lost pretty badly. Pascal Siakam was the leading scorer with 24 points. OG Anunoby had 20 points, 18 for Fred VanVleet. But other than that, I mean, it was just a tough game for the Raps. They couldn't get, much going. They were losing by a lot in the first half. It was a blowout all the way through. I mean, the Sixers are playing really good right now. Harden had 22 points. I mean, they're kind of the team to beat, I think, in the East with the talent, but I think the East has some good teams, and that's why I'll segue into the Celtics-Nets game. This game was really good. It came down to a buzzer beater by Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum had this exceptional layup as the time expired, despite the Celtics being outscored by 10 in the fourth quarter. So a little bit of a comeback by the Nets. But yeah, for the Celtics, 31 from Tatum, of course, with that buzzer beater, 23 from Jaylen Brown, 20 from Marcus Smart, 20 from Al Horford, who also had 15 rebounds. That was pretty much it from them, though. For the Nets, they had a really exceptional game from Kyrie. Kyrie Irving had 39 points, 23 from KD. And Durant, he dished the ball well also. Nick Claxton had 13 and 14 for Dragic. But yeah, I mean, this was a really good game. I think this is going to be a really good series. So the Celtics win by 1. Final score 115-114. Next game, we have more of a low-scoring game, 93-86, Bucks over the Bulls. This game was close. It came down to the end. Fourth quarter, didn't see a lot of scoring for either team. Neither team broke 20. But the Bucks, I would say this was a solid win for them. Giannis Antetokounmpo had a double-double with 27 points and 16 rebounds. 18 points from Brook Lopez, 15 from Drew Holiday. 11 from Chris Middleton, 10 from Portis, and it got the job done. I mean, the Bucks played better down the stretch. I think the Bulls played better sort of in the middle of the game. They outscored them in the middle quarters, but other than that, though, the Bucks had a mission. For the Bulls, leading scorer Nikola Vucevic, he had 24 points. I didn't see as big of a game as I expected from DeMar DeRozan. He had 18, though. 18 from Zach LaVine, 12 from Kobe White, but they just fell short by 7 points. And the final game is the 1 seed and the 8 seed in the West, the Phoenix Suns and the New Orleans Pelicans. The Suns win by a final score of 110-99, 11-point victory, although the Pelicans were down by as much as 20-plus points, and they cut the deficit down a lot, at certain points. They outscored the Phoenix Suns by 11 in the third quarter. And I mean, yeah, it was a good game from the Suns. But if I'm a Suns fan, I got to be a little bit concerned that we gave up that big of a lead to an 8 seed. But that being said, it was a good win for the Suns. And it was a really good game from Chris Paul, who had 30 points, 25 from Devin Booker, Ayton had 21, and 11 from Mikal Bridges. It makes sense. But for the Pelicans, they had 18 from Brandon Ingram, 18 from Valanciunas. CJ McCollum was lighting things up with 25 points, especially in the second quarter and the third quarter. So that was good to see from him. Larry Nance Jr. had 14, but the Suns take game 1 at home, 110-99. So that's all game 1s, of course, excluding the Warriors game. You can find that in a separate video. So let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll see you guys later, and peace out.